Alright. Hey, hi, hello. Apparently that's what we need to start saying from the get-go. It's what we say whenever we write, anyway. Whenever Jensen Ackles writes. Yeah, it's pizza. Fun. But, grown into, Riker in teenage years. Skullstem. Unfortunately, coincidentally, that we just all came together and figured out that, like, our skull stem is our teenagers, like 12 to 19, so it can't, like, I don't know, like, it stops there, and then there's a period where, it transitions into 20. So you're not a teen anymore. You're an adult. However, that 20, when you're 20, I mean, that's like the suckiest year ever. I mean, you can go, at 18, you can go and, like, move out and get a house on your own and stuff and start working and still can't do anything, but that's great because it keeps your mind focused on work so that you can grow and be amazing. Randomness is hello. It's just a HatzBatzSystem. Where were we going? Anyway, I don't know where we're going with that. But been dissociating a lot. Like, if previous videos from getting triggered at Walmart, and then, I don't know, like, the week of trying to recover. And then being normal, which is like, we have DID, we're not normal, but, like, our normal, what we're used to every day, was like, that was our super low because we were triggered. And then we had, like, it took days to get back to grown. I don't know, back to system up. Head rush. I don't know how to explain that. So, it's been about, like, a week recovering from that. Like, when we finally felt better, it was like the first day feeling better from it after sleeping for 3 days. Not straight, but, still taking our dog out, a friend to work, and then just coming back home and getting right and back in the bed, and, that kind of thing for, like, 3 days. Laid in bed for 3 days. Yes. So we finally, and the next day we wake up and we're like, huh. Well, we kind of feel like us again. Which is still, like, we were happy about it, but we were still like, but we're in us, like, this everyday life is just wild. But, so that was our really low. Yeah, that's where we're going. That was our really low because we were triggered. And then since we got over it, or, rested, dissociated through it, and back to normal dissociation, now we're on our, like, that was our low. Now we're like on our high, like finally have energy to do something from like being sick or whatever, and you just go and do whatever. Like, we've been going visiting like so many friends, all the stuff that like our head that we, I guess, couldn't really communicate to each other because we were just out of it, you know. Dissociation through that trigger for what we were awake for 2 days. I don't know. Go back and watch the video, and if we made any after that, I don't know. We're finally making one now because it's just like, I don't know. It's like we got to the last point. Like, I don't know IDK is an actual altar. Like, when we say that, it's like the altar is saying that. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know is in a state of never knowing nothing. Ask a question. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's like, because they're in the nothingness. Like, the IDK knows nothing. Whatever specific purpose that has in the system is, I think we're getting it. It's kind of funny. Everything with us is really sarcastic and comical most of the time. Anyway, we're getting off track. Major head rush. There are so many. It's like we're finally making a video. Yay, we're all excited because videos really help us, but it's really hard to make them. So but I don't know, apparently it's good for us. I don't know necessarily if we like it, but then everyone comes to the front and likes it because it's like we had the courage and the strength to finally do it after like days of thinking about, hours of dissociation, and that's days thinking about that constantly while dissociating and think about everything else constantly. Well, you have 42 altars talking to you. Anyway, we're still getting off track. What are we trying to say? Yeah, so it's pizza and Rika in the skull stem. Basically Rika mixed with pizza, getting to be the little that grew up into the teenager, you know, and experienced teenage life that the body never got to, you know. So we're here. Yeah. Great being an altar. So our littles, anyway, thought, our littles just randomly found like this unicorn box or whatever, and it was like unstoppable unicorns, or it was just like something unicorn, and it was a game, and we just opened it like real quick to look, and it has like little cards. So we were like, oh, that's perfect, our littles can like play a little game. Well, then we got home dissociating, you know, we put it away. Our little, anytime we would see it, our littles will still think about it because it's like unicorns. But it's like we were never drawn to it. And then, I don't know, for being triggered and then sitting here dissociating. Now that we know what dissociation is, dude, bro, I can't believe that. It's been our whole life. Like, as an alter in the system, like, you know, usually there's like Zyla as Lex closest to the identity. Like, to be an alter, well, they're an alter too. It's a rabbit hole. It just keeps going and then goes somewhere else. And then turns into a roller coaster. I don't know. It's simply complicated. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Yeah. So our little saw it, but kind of just kept waiting until the right moment. Well, universe all works out how it needs to. Our skull stem had been coming out for a while, you know, if you watch the videos. And, well, we figured out we're all teens. That's why we get along with teenagers so much. But Rika and Pizza being in that also know that I might have to grow pretty fast. Because, like, there's a big difference between the age of 12 and 19. But huge. But that's where they're still considered teens. So you still all like the same stuff, you know. But a little older, been through some stuff, can give advice, be a friend, be a buddy, be someone who encourages, you know, uplifts. Not just a fucking whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because it's inside the system, alters are helping the alters. We all love each other, even though we all get on each other's nerves sometimes. But we all love each other. We love it. We love each other. We love ourselves. But a game! Oh my god. Dissociation. I think it's because Pizza sends out most, like, forefronts for our littles. Right here. I think he's, like, right here. But, yeah, so being triggered, all of our littles, like, oh, God, don't even start thinking about it, okay, now, right now, in this moment. Haha, in this moment is a van. Haha, shut up, you're gonna listen, this life is mine. Yeah. Found this game, like, unicorn game. Like, forever ago. We've just had it sitting up there, excited every morning to see fucking little unicorns, and it's got cars, and we can't wait to open it one day, you know? We've got our phone inside our unstoppable unicorn box, so we're gonna move it out and see if we can. Oh, yeah. See, now that's perfect. I like that. We might start using that as, like, our setup for our phone. Yeah. So, major dissociation, getting out of that. and then coming back to normal and like being on a high, meeting all our friends, talking, brain vomiting with them. We're just as exhausted as we were when we were triggered. Because now it's like, we're awake, we're exciting, all of our alters are like, we're exhausted from it all. But not. Because we're excited. So we've been sitting here for a while, dissociating, like, talking amongst ourselves, like, do we want to color? Do our littles want to color? Do our teens want to color? Do our adults want to color? Do we want to watch a kid movie? Do we want to watch a movie at all, meaning an adult movie? Do we want to break out our tarot? And I don't know, flip it and read it and see. But then I was like, well, then we're going to have to choose. And then I have to choose one of our notebooks, like either it's set together or we just randomly choose a notebook to write in. And it's like, oh, it's too much. It's organized chaos, but for Samantha and Stephanie, I think they're coming back finally. We have to figure out. I'll have to figure out how to do this. And live with the idea and understand that, like, head rush, I can't even explain it to you how it was before. We knew we had it. Like, seeing us now, like, trying to talk about one thing that we're going to do. And it's taken us forever because there's been stories and dissociation and different talks all throughout it. So our whole life, when we're trying to say something, we go off on these tangents, or we're trying to say something and people will interject and say something for some reason. So, alright, we're focused on you. We done forgot about us, whatever we were saying. And then you're like, through talking, you're like, alright, continue what you were saying. Oh, bro, I don't know. It's in the morning. I just had, school, high school, whatever. It's in the morning. I had breakfast this morning. Don't ask me what the fuck I ate. I don't know. I'm just glad I ate. I think we've been talking in our other videos that we haven't really been eating. Our weight is very bad. Yeah. Not really in a good place right now. I'm trying to get it together. Just trying to make it, trying to figure it out. Okay. Back to the game. Here. We've been dissociating, I don't even know. Just talking to each other, trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Do we want to go to sleep, or we're too chaotic from being triggered to not being normal, being on a high and hanging out with our friends and getting to hang out with them and talking and getting it all out. And now just being us back at home, like, we have so much we want to do that we don't know what we can't decide. So we finally decided we're going to break out this game, start to read it, try to play it, but already it's awesome. It's unicorns first. Makes pizza happy. And our littles. And our adults. Who doesn't love unicorns? But it's a game. So then, okay, like Rika's reading it. Pete's is understanding it, gonna play, be a part of it. We're all gonna play it. But when you start to read this, or if we never really read instructions before. We're not good readers. It takes us, we have to read a sentence 5 times before we can understand what it says. So, like, legal documents and stuff, no, fuck. No. If we find a book that we like and we can actually read it, then that's probably, like, our favorite book and the only book that we've ever read or will read. We have 3. 4? One that sticks out particularly. Anyway, going off track again. It reminds us of DID. Okay? Like, I don't know. The fact that it's unicorns, it's like a child's thing. But grows, 14-year-olds can play with unicorns. And then it goes up into, right here, age 21 plus. So just as our skull sim, head rush, look, y'all. As our skull sim is coming out big time, telling us who they are, they're teenagers, we're acting like teenagers, to like 20 that, we grew up in. That's the age group. That's the age sliding that we can go to. And how we act and stuff. Well, all through this too, with everything that's been happening, watching our videos too, but like, not everybody that we've been meeting, but like, we've been meeting like the 20-year-olds. They're either 20, 21, almost 25. So it's like, we're meeting them right after being 19. So now turning 20, where you're considered an adult. But it's like it's a pause. It's a blank space. Because you can't do anything. Can't go into a sex shop. You have to be 21. Now you can't go into a vape shop. It used to be, you can't drink until you're 21, which is still, but now cigarettes and vape shops, you can't go until you're 21. Like, if that happened to us when we were growing up, would have freaked out. We were 20, so we could buy cigarettes. We're totally excited about that. That was perfect. We smoked pot anyway all the time. Cigars, cigarettes is what I was thinking. Yeah. But now, like, this generation, how they change it. Man, you're an adult, but you still gotta wait till you're 21 when that was alcohol, which is worse. I don't even know why alcohol is legal. Fucking cut that shit. It's bad enough you have cigarettes, chemicals in it. Who knows? Dude knows what? I don't know. Whatever. Then you come out with vaping. Cool. It's supposed to be a healthier alternative. Is it still going to have side effects later on like cigarettes? Who knows? But if you would just make pot legal, just let it be. Like, let alcohol stay. That's fine. Whatever. It's everybody's preference. But hello. What about all of us that, like, alright, fucking government. alcohol, cigarettes. What else other bad, harmful stuff is out there that's legal that the government hands us? Because, like, I don't grow my own food. I buy it from the store. Somebody else grows it. It's crazy, we're dissociating right now, thinking about something totally different. But yeah, no. So we're glad that the body is studying, because Zyla, we all went through our 20s already. Whatever happened there. We got pregnant, so our 20s were actually cut very short. It was like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I don't know how many that is. I didn't count it on my fingers. But we got pregnant at 23, had a daughter at 24. So that's only like a few years of experience in the world and growing, figuring us out before we knew we were we. Dude, bro, it's rough. And then now, knowing that you have DID, still rough. Sometimes awesome and simple. I don't know. Yeah, government, look, just make pot legal. That helps more than the fucking medication you're putting out. Oh, medication is another thing that is, like alcohol and cigarettes that's controlled by the government, that's put out there. Like, you put people on medication, it's supposed to help them. Perhaps it does after a while. But then the side effects of that medication are worse than your actual condition that they diagnosed you with, that you whatever have. And then most of them say too, God, y'all pray for me a new chair to sit in. I don't know, like a perfect one. I can get my skull pillow, sit on that. That'll help my bony butt. God, it's been a almost 30-minute video. Fuck. Yeah, so the medication that they put you on, it says on there, consult doctor before getting off, because if you just quit cold turkey, like, your brain's gonna be worse than it was before. Like, you have suicidal thoughts whenever you're a teenager. You go through shit, Adults have, you have thoughts. I need to burp. But, there we go. Yeah. So, to have alters to constantly fight suicide, not wanting to be here, you know what I mean? Those thoughts constantly have alters that are counteracting those thoughts, just so you can, what is that, like a positive and a negative makes a battery, like, alright, just so the battery can charge. Just so the battery can charge. And then where else are we going this? Yes, the pills. Fucking shit, man. The government is screwed up. Fucked up. They make all the things that are legal the worst for us. That don't help at all. Just don't even get me started. That's just the 3 lesser things that I can actually handle. Let's talk about that. Any other thing than that, like, I will fly off the handle. It's a trigger. I can't talk about it. Like, Just the 3 things that we can talk about, because that's what we experience and deal with, is alcohol, the pills, and pot. Pot we found first. Fucking love it. It's great. It helps with everything. It helps everybody. And if somebody smokes it and they just so like, it doesn't do nothing for me. Right. Then weed's not for you. Cool. Then maybe you bring in the pills or the alcohol. I don't know. But why is all that shit out there? Why is it there? Pot's so much better. It just helps with everything. Or at least for us. Smoked pot. First time when we were 17. 10 years. There you go. 10 years, never left. We love pot. But also, I don't know if we made a video, smoke was actually number 1, technically number 2, I guess. If number 1 is the identity, or what was supposed to be the identity, the body's identity that we had to all, I don't know, it's number 1, it's sleeping at the bottom. It's dormant at number 1. Okay, I don't know. Oh, but then there's also 0. Oh my god. Oh, 0 to 1 from when you're birthed. Yeah. What were we saying? I don't know. We've done talked about so many things different times. We're trying to get it together. I don't even know what we were talking about before then to get back on track. Skull stem. We are going through our 20s again, I guess. Yeah. Body's steady, but we're experiencing in a mindset that is with the 20-year-olds now. Like, whatever generation that would be. I think it's Gen Z, it's called. We were, when we were born, technically, we were millennials, but we still felt like we didn't fit in with that. We didn't know what that meant. I was like, whatever. We don't know. RDK. And like our friend who we met is 21. Was telling us about it, like the different generations and stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? Gen Z is like, whatever. But you know, whatever generation you're in, and people are like, you know, they're all gonna act like this or they're all gonna be like that. Like, no, there's gonna be a few that are gonna be who they are themselves, not because of the generation that you say that they're in. They're not gonna follow what you say. They're gonna be who they are, and most likely that's gonna be like an old soul, you know, like DID, like a soul that has awakened and experienced a shit ton of lives, like who is in a human body now, had to grow with all these emotions and stuff, a new life, had figured out, and then in the heart, they're old school. You know, like, they're cool. Whatever. You've never met anybody like them. They're unique. They're wild. Intriguing. simply complicated, happily depressed whenever you get into DID. Started off talking about a game that we want to play still. Dissociation. Do you see where our brain goes? We've been sitting here at our desk before we started videoing, before we chose the game, literally sitting here looking at all of our shit in silence. No music, which is odd. We always have to have music because it, like, helps the thoughts, but we're all just, we're just sitting here and we're, like, looking at everything and we're, like, talking to ourselves. What do we want to do? Do we want to go to bed? Do we want to write to... Talking to ourselves so fast, you know, so fast. Talking to ourselves. Finally, it's like unicorns. Yeah, okay, Littles popped out. Littles shows. Unstoppable unicorns. Let's play the game. Like, they remembered. And then we realized it's for 14 and our school STEM just came out. It was like teenagers. Up to like 19. Transitioning into 20. Yeah, that's where we got off that tangent. Woo! Because I had 21 on here. Which makes it full adult legal. Alright. Welcome to Trigger Upon Trigger Upon Trigger. Just now with a game. Brain exploded. My brain has exploded. Brain vomit just came out. And I just realized that. Like, just now making a video, being able to talk to ourselves. We've literally been sitting here for hours. Probably hours. Dissociating. Just trying to figure out what to do. Next. Go to sleep. Can't go to sleep because of our thoughts. Forever. Sitting here. Then we finally decide to pick a game. And that makes us excited, and we're going to do a video and talk about something. The game. And then there was the video, and it went from there. But we're going to play this game. Try to read it and figure it out. It says 2 players, but we have 42 awakened. No, actually 45. We've had a few more awakened. We're going to play against each other. Cool. What's that little cartoon? They have, like, they do, like, a little funny segment after a movie, like a Disney movie, and they do something funny. And it's, like, the old man who plays chess against himself, but, like, you know, like, it starts, like, to where you realize it's him playing against himself. You know, like, he's moving. But then the camera goes back and forth. That it's, like, us 2 different people, you know, and then somehow it ends. I don't remember how it ends. Because I think I got stuck there. I think we got stuck there with the different people because we were like, oh, that's us. Yeah. Anyway. HatzBatzSystem update. Since we haven't made a video, we feel like in forever. Because we got triggered. And then, I don't remember. We slept for 3 days, so I'm pretty sure we didn't make a video then. Okay, here was time. We made another video now. And it's a bunch of brain vomit! Because we dissociate. Welcome to dissociation. It's exhausting. But then sometimes can be very exciting. And that makes it exhausting. But very exciting. Because it's like an awesome, wild trip. Like a roller coaster. That you'd love to ride. So you're staying on it forever. And like it goes on your highs and you ride the roller coaster and the only time you get to rest is like whenever it stops to get the other people out. And then so that's whenever you rest and you just like you had so much fun, you know, like your adrenaline and stuff was just pumping. It was like, yes. Or sex. Depending. Or pot. Whatever your thing is. However your brain wants to put it. And then you rest. Just like sleep for 3 days. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. We're gonna go. Yeah. Or else we're just gonna keep talking. All the time. In person. In writing. We're telling ourselves, like, go, get off the camera, stop it. When we have to tell, like, our friends or even people that we first meet, we're like, look, we talk all the time. You have to tell us when you want, like, if you have, like, when you want us to be quiet because your own brain needs to think and not hear our voice anymore or something, you know, you're just tired of talking. Maybe you've been at work all day, like our friend B, been at work all day, probably having to talk to people. She don't want to hear no talking from us. Fuck. Ah. And then we keep talking in more thoughts. All right. HatzBatzSystem out. Hurry. 1, 2, 3. Bye.